Opposition break and roll out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gentlemen, your timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gentlemen, your foot position. Forward, replace, delayed forward, triple, side triple right. And again. Forward, replace, delayed forward, triple, side triple right. Gentlemen, your footwork. Ball flat, ball flat, ball, ball flat, ball flat, ball, ball flat, ball flat.
Ladies, now your timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ladies, now your foot positions. Back, replace, turning triple, side triple left. One more time. Back, replace, turning triple, side triple left. Ladies, your footwork. Ball flat, ball flat, ball, ball, ball flat, ball, ball flat, ball flat.
Okay, guys, got a lot happening in a very short amount of time here. So, do we lead her as she goes? No, we lead her before she goes. So on that rock step, my rock step being in a forward position is telling her to move forward, but it is not telling her she's about to turn. I could do a rock step and simply do a throw out position, right? So she needs to know she's going to turn. So watch at the end of the word step. I'm returning to my right foot, but I got to be stretching my left side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, if I dance this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Really giving her a late lead and a hectic type of turn. The turning triple for the lady is really a sense that the rotation places her feet, as opposed to Kasha trying to do a turn by moving her feet, thinking about turning via her feet. Her rotation of the body should lay that rhythm down. Of course, she has to know the rhythm of her footwork. 3, 4, but it's the body that lays it down. And gentlemen, you are a huge help in this. So if I dance 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6. When I bring my hand down to stop her, I'm not snapping it. Well, I'm bringing it down efficiently, but I don't want it to be something that hurts her shoulder.
Right. Make sure that you don't bring it so rapidly and so low that you actually disturb the movement. And that's actually very common, even though sometimes the intentions are correct to help us to have a little bit more speed and a little bit more sharpness. But look what's going to happen if Donald does this to me. Rock, step, triple step. The chances are you're going to cut me short, and the movement, I'm going to fall out of my movement, right? So the hand should lower, but allow me to create my own speed and my own sharpness.
The only time I really feel that we need to use that hand to finish the turn is if we used the hand to do the turn. So then when I'm trying to control her and stop her here, so I'll make sure she's able to go to the side. It's not my responsibility to stop her. I'm going to do the forward break and stretch, and she does her own. I go along. Do you notice how when I lead it correctly, it's got a sense of volume about it. I don't know if it comes across as visual as it does the sensation in our arms. We're so connected, we're so balanced because of knowledge of where she is, and then it's just a beautiful fluid turn that didn't start on the 3 or 4. It definitely started on the 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, then it's a triple, okay?
If I can mention something. With all the stretching that Donald talked about and when the turn happens, one extremely crucial point, you have to keep in mind, I am turning, but I'm turning and traveling a little bit passing Donald. When we go into the shaping, what we've noticed as well, that when we talk about the shaping, shaping then becomes a priority and we lose the sense of direction of the spine. So there is shaping of the body to let me know I'm turning, but you can't forget that I'm turning while I'm actually progressing forward. So if Donald shape, if the shaping becomes a priority instead of the movement, look what's going to happen to me. If I go rock, step, and Donald shape this way, he's telling me that I should reverse, right? We call this like a back falling
negative
turn,
feeling.
a negative feeling. So look at one more time. All the stuff that he talks about, it's very important. You start the turn, but could you see it's still inviting me to go forward, and then the turn happens. Extremely important. Otherwise, you're always going to struggle, and you're always going to complain to your lady, how come she's staying behind? But majority of the time, unfortunately, it's the man who does this to
Guys,
us.
this is where you've got to get used to how you dance your body to tell her where to go. I'm going to stretch my body away from her, but I'm not going to be so stingy that I keep my chest away from her. I move on to that forward break. As I go on that forward break, my center is still aware of her. Okay, Kasha goes back, I go forward. So when that happens, I can't just leave my arm here. You'll see a rotation in my body only as much as I go forward, and that's to, again, give the hand. So if we were holding on to that common center again, as she goes forward, or as I go forward, she goes back, I have to have a little bit of rotation so we don't move that center. I can't disturb her. I want her to continue on. Now, that stretch away is her information to go forward. Now, if I did nothing else, she would simply move forward. But now, as she moves forward, I'm stretching. That's what tells her, okay, I've given her 2 pieces of information. I want you to move over here, and this is what you're going to do while you're moving over here.
Exactly, extremely important. Could you say this?
Well, when you're moving, you're telling her where you want her to go. So you've said, okay, spine, go in this direction. Now, what do I want her to do while she's moving her spine in that direction? And that's the rotary action. That is your shape. Now, as much as I talked about the rotation towards her, so many times whenever I have problems with gentlemen when they say, okay, but when I back up here, I have to pull on her because I'm going backwards. Well, it's not so much true. Watch what this. Look where my shoulder is. Now, when I move from my left foot to my right foot, when I move from my left foot to my right foot, you're going to see a rotation again. And that rotation, so I feel like I'm actually stretching and telling her with my back to go over there, not so much with my arm. Again, I rotated towards her to allow her to finish and allow her to also know, and my spine moving this way tells her, I want her to go this way. Now from that, I do a shape, but I'm also moving over here. So it's a shape and move. But if you don't rotate, that won't actually continue her movement. I do so understand that this gets confusing. I was just like, oh, when my coach would talk about it, or Kasha, we develop it more, and it gets confusing even to talk to you about it. All you have to do is be patient with it, listen to it again, do the rehearsal, have the experiences of practicing and just experiencing it. And you will also start to develop it yourself more. And you'll change it and adapt it for your own self. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last thing to talk about is, again, the timing. Look how long the 2 is versus a nice quick triple. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice chassé side.
Mm-hmm. Now, ladies, as much as the men have to be aware of moving and shaping, the same thing is happening for you. I completely understand that a lot of time when it comes to turning, turn is the only thing that it's on your mind. But again, you have to make sure you are going somewhere from point A to point B, and the action, which is the rotation, happens as you are going, right? So if I can show it to you, after the rock step, I have to have a sense that's where I'm going. And it doesn't have to be very far away from the man, but I have to make sure my spine has a clear, linear movement, and the body have the rotation as I'm getting there, right? So when I'm turning, I'm not just thinking turning, 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 going nowhere. I actually need to have a sense I am going and turning. Right? So could you see it's easy for me to pass the man, again, not to run away from him. I have my own balance, I have the stability, and rotation happens as I'm going. So one more time. One extra thing that's going to help you, look where you're going as well, right? Very often we end up looking at the man. If you end up looking at the man, that's exactly where you're going, and could you see how my body then goes backwards? So I need you to actually have a sense I'm going forward, and then find him at the very end. So you're going to have a nice precision of the turn, right? And a very confident look as well, instead of having this rotation, which is actually almost leaning prior to your turn.
Who is that girl out on the dance floor? Seems like I saw her down here a long, long time ago. You know, she still looks good to me.